There we go. Okay. So again, welcome to the the free workshop, the number one way to start working from home. I'm Ariana and I quit teaching back when I had my daughter 5 years ago. And within 6 months of starting my virtual assistant business, I had replaced my full-time teaching income with my newborn daughter by my side. So I'm about to teach you how to do the same thing. This is my sweet family. This is my husband, Reed. We are college sweethearts. My 5-year-old daughter, who inspired me to start this business because I wanted to be there to witness all of her firsts. And then my 2.5-year-old crazy toddler of a son. Few fun facts about me. On the virtual assistant side of my business, I'm a website and branding designer. So, what that means is I provide those services to my clients, and you'll see in a second, I'm going to go through all the services you can offer as a virtual assistant. But that's just what I chose to specialize in because that's what lit me up, and you'll get to pick what lights you up as we go along. Okay. But what's really cool for you guys is I'm still offering these services to my clients, which means I'm still seeing what's working to land new clients, what new strategies are out there. That way I can present them to you and help you guys find your clients. So I'm a Michigander at heart, currently living in Ohio with my daughter, my son, my husband, 3 cats, and a German Shepherd, and a baby on the way. So life's a little bit crazy, but we like it that way. So I was actually a teacher for 3 years. I moved down to Texas after getting my degree in Michigan and started teaching down there. And I very quickly realized that was not what I wanted to do for the rest of my life. I knew that I wanted to be present for my kiddos, and I didn't know how I was going to do that when I was so exhausted from dealing with other people's kiddos all day long. And I know a lot of you here are teachers, so you're going to understand that. Um, so I was trying to figure out what I could do. My husband and I we knew that I couldn't just be a stay-at-home mom because with our goals of like paying off our student loans, being able to travel when we wanted, all those things, we needed my income to do that. So my last year teaching, I became pregnant and it just became so much more present on my heart that I wanted to be able to be home with my daughter. Um, and I just kept dreaming, trying to figure out like how I could do this. And God has a funny way of making things work out in his perfect timing because the day that I went into labor, I found out about the virtual assistant world. And I'm like, what is this? Is this like direct sales? Because I tried that before back when I was in college and I just never really made any money with it. So I didn't really want to do something like that. I very quickly found out that no, being a virtual assistant is not anything related to the direct sales world. It's your own business and you're offering services to businesses to help them reach more people and grow their businesses. So once I figured that out, I was like, okay, I'm in. I can figure this out. I've never done something like this before. I was a kindergarten teacher. I taught 5 and 6-year-olds how to stand in line, how to use a glue stick. So I hadn't done any of it. So I'm like, you know what? For the sake of my daughter, I'm going to figure this out. So I did, jumped right in. Every time I was nursing, my daughter was sleeping. Whenever I got a spare second, I was learning everything I could about the virtual assistant world. And within a month, I had landed my first client. Within 2 months, I was making $1,500 in monthly income. And within 6 months, I had fully replaced my teaching income. So now each month, I consistently replace and exceed my teaching income, working only a few hours a week. And I'm going to teach you guys how you can do the same. Honestly, becoming a virtual assistant was so much simpler than I expected. Notice I didn't say easy, it does take work, but it was simple. And there is a process that you can follow that I'm going to walk you guys through. You can absolutely do this. I'm not a unicorn. I'm going to show you guys exactly how you can. I promise you can do it too. So let's go ahead and walk through the 5 P's that you need to have in place in order to become a profitable virtual assistant. All right, the first P of becoming a virtual assistant is your positioning. So before we do anything else, we need to determine which type of virtual assistant we want to position ourselves as. Now, there are seriously over 100 different services you can offer as a virtual assistant. I've got them broken down into categories, but before I break that down for you, I just want to let you know that you can pick whatever service you want to learn how to do, even if you have no experience in it. And just because there's a service in in the category that you want to offer, like if you want to be an administrative virtual assistant, for example, just because I have a service listed in there doesn't mean you have to do that specific part of the services. You can pick and choose what you want to do, and that's one of the beautiful things about being a virtual assistant. So the first category I have for you here is an administrative virtual assistant. So when you think of like the typical things that like a secretary would do, that's what an admin VA would do. So things like calendar organization, billing and invoicing, researching, creating forms and spreadsheets, purchasing office supplies, scheduling appointments, bookkeeping, data entry, booking travel, purchasing gifts, that all falls into the admin virtual assistant role. This is a very popular role for people to jump into when they're first learning how to become a virtual assistant because it's pretty easy to like figure out as you go. You don't need a ton of experience and all of that. Another really popular category that a lot of new people jump into as a virtual assistant is social media management, because most of us are familiar with social media in some shape or form, and it's not that hard to learn how to do it for businesses. So as a social media manager, you can do things like managing Facebook groups, Facebook business pages, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, whatever social media platforms are out there. As a social media manager, you can help create and or find the graphics for the social media posts, write the captions for the posts, schedule content, respond to comments and messages, do hashtag research, help generate ideas for what your clients could create, all of those things. Now, as a social media manager, you can pick what platforms you want to specialize in. Typically, I recommend a max of like two, and you want to do ones that go well together. So, like TikTok, if you are a TikTok manager, then those TikTok videos could be repurposed into Reels on Instagram. Anything you post on Instagram can be shared to a Facebook business page if they have those two linked. So, you could be like an Instagram social media manager and then also like share that content on your client's Facebook business page as well. Sorry, I'm getting a little distracted because there's ladybugs all over. They're like taking over my house, and I don't know what happened, but in the last week they just started swarming outside, and now there's a bunch in here I'm gonna have to take care of. So sorry for the distraction. All right, next category is copywriting. Now, this is not like copyright infringement, which is what I first thought when I jumped into the virtual assistant world. No, a copywriter does any written content in a business. So any written content in a business that you see was probably done by a copywriter. So copywriters can do things like proofreading, editing, writing blog posts, social media captions, writing email content, any written content on a website, and they can even ghostwrite books. So as a copywriter, if you want to, you can offer the service of ghostwriting, where a client will give you basically an outline of what they want in their book, and then you just basically bring it to life. But then their name, your client's name, is the one that actually goes on the book. Okay, so if you love writing, maybe you're a language arts teacher, you just love writing, then this is a really great service for you to offer. All right, graphic design is another really fun category of virtual assistants. As a graphic designer, you can create things like social media graphics, logos, cover photos, flyers, website banners, postcards, workbooks, presentations. You can do photo editing, create newsletters, all of those things. Another really super fun category is Pinterest management. You can literally get paid to play on Pinterest. Try saying that 5 times fast. So as a Pinterest manager, you will help your clients create pins, write the captions, find and join group boards, schedule pins. A lot of people think that Pinterest is just a place to go to like learn how to do a new DIY or something. But Pinterest is actually a visual search engine. And when people go to Pinterest, they're usually going there to learn something specific. And so businesses need to be on Pinterest. They need to have their content on Pinterest. Most Pinterest pins then, like when people click on it, direct them to a blog or some page on that business's website where they can learn more. And then that builds the know, like, and trust factor with whoever clicked on that pin. And they're more likely to purchase the service or products that that business offers because they learned something, whether it's a recipe, and then maybe it's like prompting them to buy the recipe or the cookbook that person offers, whatever it is. So many different businesses could be utilizing Pinterest, and so many businesses are not yet utilizing it. So this is a really great service to offer. All right, next category is marketing. So marketing is really helping businesses reach more people than they already are reaching. So as a marketing virtual assistant, you can offer things like email marketing, building sales funnels, social media ads, webinar creation, which webinar is basically just like this presentation I'm showing you guys, press releases, even social media, like anything that helps them reach more people. That's what a marketing VA does. A technical virtual assistant can help with things like website design, app development, video editing, coding, podcast management. I do want to pause here real quick because a lot of people think like I could not do that. I don't have any experience in that. I didn't either. Like I said, I taught kindergarten, you guys, and now I do website design. I had no idea what I was doing at first. I literally just watched a YouTube tutorial to build my own website, and I was like, this is so much fun. I'm going to do this for a client. And within like a month, I had started offering that as a service instead of what I was doing because I just wasn't being lit up from the services I was doing. So I ended up specializing in website design because that's what I enjoyed. So you can absolutely learn. And same with podcast management. Podcast management is a really, really good service to go into right now. So many businesses are starting podcasts, and if they haven't yet, they need to, because that again builds the know, like, and trust factor with their listeners so much faster, and they're way more likely to invest in the podcast hosts' services or products, because they're in their earbuds all the time and they build that trust with them. So podcast management, there's a lot that goes into it, a lot that goes into like editing the episodes, creating the social media graphics, all of that. Businesses just don't have time for that. So they need to hire a podcast manager, and that could be you. It's not hard to learn, I promise. All right, and then product and course creation, virtual assistants, they can help with building and managing courses, creating PowerPoint presentations for the lessons, creating landing pages, and all of those things. Now, even if there's a service that's not listed here that you're like, okay, but can a virtual assistant do this? Like, comment on the workshop and let me know what you're thinking, and I will tell you if virtual assistants can do that. But the answer is probably yes. So, something I want you to think about is don't get too stuck in your comfort zone. Try to pick a service or a couple services that businesses would be willing to outsource more for. So, administrative virtual assistants, that's a great category to go into when you're first starting, but it's not like a super profitable one. Like you're not gonna, be able to double your income or anything like that with it. But some of the other like more, I call them expert level skills. Not like you don't need a ton of experience to offer them. That's not what I mean. But like businesses will come to you because they trust you to help them reach more people with the service that you're offering. So website design, Pinterest management, podcast management, copywriting, all of those things. Those are more advanced services that businesses are much more willing to invest more into because it's actually helping them grow their business. Yes, administrative services takes things off their plate, but most businesses' goals are that they want to reach more people and expand who they're reaching to. So if you're offering a service that helps them do that, they are much more willing to invest that money. Okay. So this makes it a lot easier and faster to replace your income. So I know what you're thinking. You're probably saying, Ariana, I do not know, excuse me, or feel qualified to offer any of these services. Help. And I totally understand. And I just want to remind you that before I started, I had not done 90% of the services that I have now done for my clients. Most of the services I just went through, I have done for clients throughout my years as a virtual assistant. And I had no experience doing that before. I taught kindergarten. Okay. Taught 5 and 6 year olds. But I figured it out, and you can absolutely do that too. And don't worry because I can teach you how to do the service that you choose. So I've got you. All right, so real quick, whether you're watching live or the replay, I want you to take a moment and drop into the comments on the workshop and share what service or services do you feel confident offering right off the bat? And what service or services would you love to learn how to do? And I want you to focus on what services you would love to learn how to do because I don't want you to pick a service just because you feel comfortable in it. If you don't love it, like we're trying to get out of our 9 to 5s. We're trying to find something that allows us to be home with our babies and that we absolutely love. So I don't want you to pick something just because like you're decent at it right now when you can absolutely pick something that you love and get decent at it very quickly just by offering it to clients. Okay, so while people are dropping that in the comments, I'm just going to make sure that we can still hear me okay. We're trying to get out of our 9 to 5. Okay. All right, so the second P of becoming a virtual assistant is your packaging. So once we figured out our services, we need to list out the services in a way that allows our clients to understand exactly what they're getting. I recommend typically to create 3 different package options. So you'll start with kind of your basic package, and then each package above that will include additional items, and you'll be able to charge more for those packages because you're doing more for your clients. So in each package, you're going to list out exactly what is included in that package so it's really clear for your clients what they're going to get when they pay you. So for example, if you're doing social media management, your smallest package might be 3 social media posts a week, a 30-minute meeting with your clients each month to like plan out their content, um, 10 minutes on those 3 posting days of like responding to comments and messages, and maybe 30 minutes of hashtag research. Then your middle tier will build on that basic tier. So if the first tier was like 3 posts a week, the middle tier might be 4 posts a week, still a 30-minute client meeting, 4 days of 10 minutes of engagement. And then your biggest package might be 5 social media posts a week, an hour-long meeting with your clients to plan out content, an hour a month of hashtag research, and things like that. So you see how it kind of builds on, like each package builds on the previous one. All right, the third P of becoming a virtual assistant, which I know you guys are super curious about, is your pricing. So once we have created our packages, we want to have a really clear breakdown of the pricing for our packages. Now, did you know that virtual assistants can make anywhere from $30 an hour to $100 an hour? But, spoiler alert, you do not want to work with every single person just because they are offering you money. Take this from someone who had a really hard time saying no to people at the beginning. I ended up working with a client who's not a good fit, and it just took so much energy from me that I really could have been focusing onto my newborn daughter. It took a while for me to realize that, and I ended up having to let that client go because it was just not a good fit. So I want you to really truly think about who you would love to work with and who would make you want to jump out of bed every day to serve them. And that's the type of client that you want to work for and that will pay you well because they value you. Now, there are 2 different types of pricing options. So I'm going to break those down for you. The first one is hourly pricing, and typically a lot of new virtual assistants will charge hourly and then they'll keep track of their hours that they worked with a time tracking tool like Toggl, Toggl, no E. However, as you get better at the services that you're offering, you're kind of doing yourself a disservice because when you charge hourly, as you become faster at your job, you're going to be doing the same amount of work, or sorry, more work for the same amount of money. Okay, so when you charge hourly, you're kind of gypping yourself as you get better at what service you're offering. So I actually recommend to go with package pricing. As you get more experienced, it's really best to move into that package model where essentially you charge an additional fee for being skilled in that service. This also has an additional bonus that you no longer have to track your time, which does get a little bit tedious. So, in order to create your package prices, you still start with an estimate of how long the service is going to take you, just like you would have done for hourly pricing. But then you add on an additional amount on top of that. So, and that's just for like your experience level. If you've like taken a course, you've offered these services to like a handful of clients, and then you're getting a new client, you want to keep bumping up your prices until you hit that max, and you'll be able to kind of feel what that max is for you. Um, but you can always raise your prices. You can raise your prices whenever you want. You get to set them, and then you just go out and find clients who value you and are willing to pay that, which does not sound as hard as it does not, it's not as hard as it sounds. Couldn't think of my words there. And I'm going to help you guys figure out where you're going to find clients. So don't worry about that. We're going to get to that. All right, the fourth P of becoming a virtual assistant is your portfolio. So once we have our packages and our pricing, we really need to showcase that in a really clean, eye-catching design that will help us look more professional and stand out among the crowd. So my favorite tool for this is called Canva, Canva. It's a free graphic design program on the internet. They do have a paid version, but the free version does so much. It's amazing. And that's what we're going to use to create like a PDF portfolio to send to potential clients. So let me break down for you what goes into a portfolio. On page one, typically you have like a brief bio. You have a paragraph about how you can serve your clients, what you help them with. You list out where they can connect with you. So you can put like your email, your social media handles. Never put your phone number. I don't want you guys ever sharing your phone number with your clients because then they can get a hold of you all the time. You need to have boundaries in place. So if you want to have like open communication with clients once they've actually signed and paid you, you can use an app like Voxer or Slack, but never give out your phone number. And then on page one, you're also going to have like a bullet list of your skills that you offer or that you have that you can do for your clients. And then a professional photo. Now, you don't need to go pay to get headshots done or anything, but just have like your spouse or a friend who likes you and is going to take a good picture of you. Take a picture of you like in a nice top, kind of close up, and just with like a plain white wall behind you. And then that can be your photo on your first page of your portfolio. Page number 2 is where you're going to list out the packages you've created, including your title, a line item list of the services that you're offering, and then the pricing at the bottom. You can also consider adding a box at like the bottom under the packages, stating that custom packages are available. That way, if a potential client is like, yeah, I want this, this, and this, and this, but I also want these things, like, can you do that? They'll know that you can offer that and you'll create a custom package for them. Page 3 is where you can include testimonials and any sample work. A lot of new virtual assistants skip this page at first, but I think even from the get-go, you can have this page and it's really good to have. So for testimonials, you can get a testimonial from anybody you've worked with in any capacity. It can be a former coworker, current coworker, former boss, anybody who knows like how your work ethic is, they can write like a brief paragraph for you to include there. And then sample work, same thing. You can always include this from the beginning, even if you haven't done any work like that before. Like, for example, if you're offering social media management, you can go create a couple, like, create a potential client, like a fictitious client in your head. And then you can create a couple posts for that fictitious client, and then you can just showcase those in your portfolio. Your potential clients just want to see that you know how to do what you say you know how to do. So they don't have to know that that client, that work that you're showing is for a fictitious client. It still shows your skills and what you can do. So you can absolutely include that. And then page 4 is where you're going to list out next steps for your potential clients to follow to like set up a discovery call with you. That way they can chat with you and you guys can talk through and make sure that you both are going to be a good fit for each other. All right, the fifth P of becoming a virtual assistant is to put yourself out there. So once you have your portfolio all created, you've got your packages in there, your pricing, all that, you are ready to go out and land those clients. Now you're probably thinking, this sounds good and everything, but where am I actually going to find paying clients? I'm going to share with you my top 3 favorite places to find paying clients as a virtual assistant. Number 1, where I found 90% of my clients, where most of my students have found their clients, is in business Facebook groups. There are seriously hundreds of business Facebook groups out there that businesses are members of, and they will go and post and ask for help in the different areas they need help in their business. So there's like hundreds of these posts a day, and when you see one that sounds like it would be a good fit for you, usually all you have to do to apply is comment and apply. Now, you don't want to just say, I'm interested, message me. Like, that's not what we're going to do. You can kind of elaborate and like tell them how you can help them. You can click on their profile and try to see if they have their website listed or their Instagram, learn more about what their business is. And then in your comment application, you can kind of briefly mention, what you learned about their business and speak to how your services can help them grow that business. So that's a really good thing to do. And then the next category or the next place that you can find virtual assistant clients is Instagram. That's a great place to network and connect with new businesses, especially if you're a social media manager. But even if you're not, hanging out on Instagram, going into specific hashtags. Like if you know, for example, you really want to work with mom-owned businesses, you can go into hashtags of like that mom-owned businesses would use, click on those, see who's like posting with those hashtags, and go start connecting with those profiles. Just like their posts and comment sometimes and respond to their stories. And the goal with this is not to cold pitch because nobody likes that, but the goal is for you to stand out and for them to see like, hey, this person keeps popping up. What do they do? And then they'll click on your profile, see that you offer these specific services you offer, and they're like, oh, I need that. She's already plugged into my community. I'm gonna hire her for that. All right, and then the third category of where you can find paying clients is people that you know. My first client was somebody that I knew. What I always recommend is to just put up a Facebook post and be like, hey guys, I'm a virtual assistant now. I'm doing this as a side hustle. These are the services I offer. Um, if you need help or if you know somebody who has a business that could use this, I would love to chat. I know some of you like don't want your current jobs to know that you're doing this, and that's totally fine. When you do the post, you can change the privacy settings and you can have it show like everyone except, and then you can like type in the names of the people you don't want to see. Okay, so that's totally possible. Now, don't worry because inside my program, I give you my system to find new clients with no stress, no weird sales tactics. Like I said, we're not like cold messaging people saying, hire us, and no pressure. Getting clients is going to be faster and easier than you think. I want you to imagine for a moment, and I would love for you to drop your answers to these fill in the blanks in the comments. Whether you're watching live or the replay, drop them in the comments. And imagine you've quit your 9 to 5 and you're now working blank hours a week as a virtual assistant. How many hours are you working? Are you working 20, 15? What is it? You are so fulfilled because you're helping your client with or do. What are you helping them do? What services are you doing for them? You can't believe you landed this dream client because what? What is this going to allow you to do in your life? To spend more time with your babies, to travel when you want? What's it going to allow you to do? Real quick, I just want to break down the top 3 mistakes that I see new virtual assistants make because I want you to be able to avoid these. So, number one is a lot of new virtual assistants do not understand how to pitch themselves effectively. Like I said, a lot of people will just go on those Facebook posts of businesses looking for help and they'll say, "Hey, I'm interested, message me." But that doesn't really tell the potential client anything about you, and it makes them do the work to reach out to you when you should be doing the work to reach out to them. So, like I said, if you see a post that you're like, I would love to work with that business, I would love to offer those services, click on their post, go do a little home, or sorry, click on their profile, see if they have their website or their Instagram listed, learn what you can about their business. And then when you apply, you can speak to what you've learned about their business and say how the services you offer will help them grow their business. So it just takes that little bit of extra effort, maybe like 5-10 minutes, if that. But that's going to set you apart from all the other people saying, "Hey, I'm interested, message me." Okay. The second big mistake that I see a lot of new virtual assistants make is that they don't get paid up front and they don't have a contract in place to protect them. So we always, always, always get paid by our clients before doing any work. Okay. The only time that I don't recommend getting paid 100% upfront is with something big like website design, for example. For my clients, I have them pay 50% upfront, and then the remaining 50% is due halfway through the project. Okay. So you can do it like that if you're offering like a bigger service like that, but never do any work until you're at least paid a 50% deposit. But most services like administrative services, social media management, I would take that 100% upfront. You do the work for the month, and then they pay you at the end of the month for you to do the work for the next month, if that makes sense. Okay. And then you want to have a contract in place to protect you, just that so that it sets those boundaries of what your clients can do, like how they can communicate with you, when payment is due, um, what services you offer so they don't scope creep if they start adding things to your list of things you have to do, but they're not paying you more, then that needs to be a discussion that you guys have, and that needs to be stated clearly in the contract what you do and what you charge for any additional services on top of that. And then the third big mistake that new virtual assistants make is that they're trying to do it all alone. You guys, you can build your virtual assistant business on your own. You can learn how to do everything from scratch like I did. But I promise you, it's going to take you so long, and your likelihood of giving up is that much higher because when you hit a roadblock, it's going to be harder for you to overcome it if you don't have someone in your back pocket encouraging you, giving you the answer to how to get around that roadblock, um, and just helping you along the way. Now, you do not have to make any of those mistakes. You can thank me later. Just kidding. What if I could hand you 10 steps to go from burnt out working mama to virtual assistant with clients who value you? This 10-step framework is for you if you wish you could stay home with your babies instead of spending 3/4 of your day stuck at your job. It's for you if you wish you could take a day off without having to ask for permission, or if you're a teacher writing subplans, because those suck. It's for you if you wish you could afford to take that dream vacation to the beach with your husband or to Disney with your family. It's for you if you wish someone would appreciate you for all that you do in your job. And it's for you if you wish your income potential was limitless. I want you to close your eyes for a minute. Don't worry, nobody can see you, so actually do it. Close your eyes and imagine. You see yourself on your couch with your laptop in hand, little babies crawling at your feet while you knock out some work for one of your clients. You feel so much happiness and excitement knowing that you're providing an income stream for your family while spending your days watching your kiddos grow up. You get to take those dream family vacations and even pay off all of that debt. Finally. How does that feel? For me, that was everything I wanted. And I just had to figure out a way to make it happen. And virtual assistants can do that. Introducing the Virtual Assistant Mama Academy. This is everything you need to build your virtual assistant business from scratch. Inside the Virtual Assistant Mama Academy, you get access to all the trainings, templates, weekly office hours, accountability, tech tutorials, help with pricing, contract templates, and so much more. VAMA is literally your program to work through at your own pace and sets you up for success so that you can start making money and landing those clients so much faster. Inside VAMA, you get lifetime access to the 10 module program with additional bonuses added over time. Inside each module are bite-sized video lessons that will give you clarity and give you actionable and tactical steps to help you become a successful virtual assistant. These are not like hours-long trainings. I know you don't have time for that. They are super bite-sized and they're going to help you get in, learn what you need to do, implement, get out, get back to your babies. Okay? There's also templates throughout the program to help you create your portfolio, your contract, pitching to jobs, and more. So, for example, with the portfolio, I give you the exact template to use, and you just have to go in and plug in your info, swap out your colors, drop in your photo. Bam, you're done in like 10, 15 minutes. And there's a video walking you through exactly how to do that. Same thing for the contract. I have highlighted like the things that you have to change, like specific to you, and I walk you through how to make sure it's all set up correctly, how to send it to get signed by clients, and all of those things. One of the best things about the Virtual Assistant Mama Academy is that you get access to our private VAMA community where all of the other students in VAMA are hanging out. They're there to support you. Sometimes they'll even answer questions before I get a chance to. It's such an amazing community of moms just like you who want to help each other. You also get access to weekly office hours where you can submit your questions and then I will help you with them. So you have all that in the back pocket, in your back pocket, with the Virtual Assistant Mama Academy. Real quick, I just want to break down what's in the different units. So unit 1 is envisioning success. It's really just setting you up to be successful throughout the whole program. So I'm going to teach you mindset strategies for your new business because I know as a new virtual assistant, you're going to come across imposter syndrome or that feeling of who am I to do this? We all face it. And so I want to give you the tools and strategies to help you overcome that. We're also going to establish your why and your vision board. So if there's a day where you're like, why am I doing this? You're going to have that there to help you remember, like, this is why, this is what my goal is, and this is how I can keep taking baby steps towards it. I'm also going to help you figure out how to backwards design towards your goals. If you're a teacher, you probably know what backwards design is, but basically it's figuring out what your goal is and then breaking that down and going backwards and looking at what baby steps do I need to take to be able to get to that goal. So if you set an income goal to hit by a certain date, you can break down how many clients you would need to get at what rate each month to help you hit that goal. And I teach you how to do that. Step number 2 is your business foundations. So getting your business legal. I teach you the free tools you need to get started so you're not spending like a ton of money on all these different platforms you don't need. I teach you how to track your income and your taxes so you don't get the IRS mad at you, which is a really good thing. And I also give you a virtual assistant term breakdown. So when you go into these Facebook groups or wherever you're looking for clients and you see like a term that you're not familiar with, most of them are just different programs and a lot of the programs do the same things. So you can just like Google the programs to see what they do and watch their, tutorial videos or whatever. But I give you that breakdown to teach you exactly what the different terms in the virtual assistant world mean so you're not confused. There's also a video lesson in there teaching you how to time block and set up workflows in your business. That way you can figure out how much time you're going to be able to give to your virtual assistant business a week. And then once you figured that out, you set up workflows so that when you do sit down to work, you're not just twiddling your thumbs like, okay, what do I do? No, with your workflows in place, you're going to have an actual game plan of like, I'm going to do this, this, and this today, and then I'm done working and get back to my babies. Step number 3 is determining your services. So I help you figure out what service is going to be the most fun for you. I teach you how to teach yourself new skills, even if you've never done that service before. I teach you how to package your services in the like cleanest, easiest to understand way. I help you with setting your rates, and there's even a whole pricing guide to help you with that even further because I know that's a big question for people. Step number 4 is figuring out who you would love to work with. So identifying your dream client and then figuring out where to find and attract that dream client to you. So you're not always having to go like out and search for them. If your language is geared to, for example, mom-owned businesses, if the language you're using in your social media posts and your portfolio and all of that is geared towards mom-owned businesses, they're going to start coming to you. So you won't have to do as much work going to find clients. Step number 5 is building your brand and portfolio. So I'm going to help you create a brand that helps you just look professional and stand out. I'm going to teach you the ins and outs of Canva, which again is that graphic design program I told you about where we're going to build our portfolio. So I have a whole video walking you through exactly how to build the portfolio, so it's not going to take you forever. And then I also help teach you how to design your branded email signature. So again, you look even more clean and professional. Step number 6 is where to find clients. So I'm going to teach you the top 8 places to find clients. I'm going to teach you the art of networking because it's so important to like build relationships with people so they'll start referring clients to you. How to pitch yourself effectively. I'm going to help you figure out what red flags to avoid in potential clients so that you don't end up with a client like I did at the beginning that just was not worth my time. How to tell which jobs are scams. Unfortunately, there are some out there, and I don't want you guys to get stuck in them. So I'm going to help you figure out how to avoid that. And then focusing on money making activities. I want you guys to make sure when you're working your virtual assistant business, you're focusing on the tasks that are actually going to lead to more income in your business and not just wasting time on things that don't actually bring money for your family. So there's that. And then step number 7 is landing your potential client. So how to rock the interview call, which in the virtual assistant world, we call the discovery call. And that call is as much you seeing if your potential client would be a good fit for you as it is them seeing if you would be a good fit to help in their business. So I give you an entire breakdown of like what questions to ask, the flow of how to do the call, and just make it really simple for you so it's not overwhelming. In step 7, we also work through sending proposals to your dream client, which is essentially very similar to the portfolio, but it's very specific to what your client that you just had that, or your potential client that you had the discovery call is looking for. And then I teach you the art of following up because so many people do not follow up, and then that's why they don't land that client. Your clients probably have busy lives just like you, and sometimes they just need that reminder like, hey, we had this conversation. Do you have any questions for me? And then they'll be like, oh, yeah, I want to hire you. And just be like, I was so busy, I forgot. So, yeah, the art of following up is so crucial. Step number 8 is what to do when you've landed that first client. So how to send out your contracts so that they can get signed, how to send out invoices, making sure that you're getting paid before you do any work, and how to onboard your client, which just means getting the information you need from them in order to do whatever service they hired you for. So any login info you need from them, their brand colors, things like that. Step number 9 is one of the best units in the whole program, I think, and it's teaching you how to do different virtual assistant services. So remember when I said I can teach you how to do the services you want to offer? This is where. We've got trainings on how to offer social media management, TikTok management specifically also, and organizational program management. There's a training in there of how to offer Pinterest management, email marketing, podcast management, and more. So even if you don't have experience, don't worry because I'm going to teach you how to offer these services. And then step number 10 is just what to do with current clients. So how to turn your current clients into raving fans, how to get new clients from old clients, and if you ever have to, how to end a relationship with a client if they're just not a good fit. You don't want to burn any bridges. So I'm going to teach you how to do that in a professional way. Real quick, I just want to show you some of the testimonials from some of the other amazing ladies in the Virtual Assistant Mama Academy. Andrea said, Ariana's program was better and more than I could have possibly imagined. VAMA, which she adds more to constantly, gave me all the tools to get started, learn what I needed to do, and what to do once I landed clients. This is not a sign up and you're on your own program. Ariana challenged me, supported me, and has literally helped land me the most amazing clients. She answers questions so quickly, and here we are almost a year later, and while I need less support, I still have access to her program. She still answers any questions I have and is still my go-to. Amber said, Ariana's program has truly been a life-changing experience for me. With the flexibility to work through it on my own time, I gained all the knowledge and skills I needed to launch a thriving virtual assistant business. Ariana's unwavering support and willingness to answer my questions and brainstorm ideas with me have been invaluable on my journey. Thanks to VAMA, I was able to transform from a burnt out teacher to a successful VA in less than a year. I highly recommend this program to anyone who is even remotely considering becoming a virtual assistant. Trust me, you won't regret it. Couple screenshots from our student-only community. I just left my teaching position to become a full-time VA. A lot of emotions, but mostly hope and excitement for the future. Next one, about to sign my biggest client to date, which will replace my teaching income. I have some thinking to do. Yeah, you do. And then the last one, I want to celebrate with y'all. I put in my resignation at school this week. I will be done in March. And at this point, I am booked out. Thank you, Ariana, for the mentorship and for always being in my corner, and above all, for showing me it's possible. You guys, it's possible. It is totally possible for you. These women are amazing, but they're not unicorns. Like, it's not just them that can do this. You guys can do it too. Real quick, I want to walk you through some fast action bonuses I have when you join the Virtual Assistant Mama Academy before next Friday, November 1st. Bonus number one is that you're going to save $100 off the program. There's no coupon code you have to enter. You just go to virtualassistantmama.com, click on whichever pricing option you want, and then it will take you to the checkout page, and the discount is already taken off for you. Bonus number two is the Wow What a Website template and video tutorial series to help you look even more professional for your dream clients. So when you first start out as a virtual assistant, you really only need a portfolio. Unless you're offering website management, then you probably want to have a website. But as you get more advanced and you're working with bigger businesses, they might want to see a website. So I have for you a website template that I teach you in videos how to plug into your website and customize specific for you, and then you would use that as your portfolio instead. So that's one of the bonuses. And then we also have the Land Your First Client Challenge. So with this challenge, you get the accountability you need to land your first client and make back your investment ASAP. So those are the bonuses that you can get when you join the Virtual Assistant Mama Academy. And you guys, this entire program, everything that's in it, all the resources, all the templates, all the lessons, this entire program is worth over $6,500. But right now, you can get it for either one payment of $497 if you want to pay up front, or you can literally just pay $57 today and then 3 remaining monthly payments of $157. So if you want to break it down, you can totally do that. So this is doable. I just want you to picture what your life could be like if you take that step and if you say yes. If your first reaction is to be like, I can't afford that. Well, you can still DIY your business. It's just going to take you longer. But if you think to yourself, like, I want to make this happen, how can I do this? Can you sell some things around your house? Can you cut out your Starbucks for a month or two? Like, what can you do to make this possible? I just want you to really try to envision your dreams coming true and take that step to make it come true as fast as possible. And I promise you that the Virtual Assistant Mama Academy is going to help you get your virtual assistant business off the ground much faster than trying to do it yourself. Now, maybe you're wondering how long it's actually going to take you to quit your 9 to 5 for good. there's a lot of questions that I know you're probably wondering. So I do have a podcast called The Virtual Assistant Mama. Um, it's called The Virtual Assistant Mama. I don't know why I was adding another word after that. So you can find it on Apple, Spotify, wherever you listen to podcasts. And on there, I have episode 147 that's going to actually help answer that question of how long it's going to take you to quit your 9 to 5. And then if you're wondering about how to get your spouse on board, because it's really important for you to have their support, go check out episode 149. I actually brought my husband on the podcast and asked him questions that I think will help you in that area. And then one of the biggest questions I get is, what do I do about insurance and benefits? Episode 296 is going to break that down. All right, y'all. It is time to say yes. It's time to ditch your 9 to 5 for good. Go to virtualassistantmama.com. I'll drop that link in the replay as soon as I hop off here and join us. I'm so excited to have you guys and to support you in this journey. And I want you to do this and just know that you can absolutely have all of your dreams come true. Okay? And I'm here to support you. So real quick, let me recap. This offer includes your 10-step self-paced program. You get access to it for life, so you always have it to refer back to. It has video lessons, workbooks, templates for your portfolio, contract, pitching to jobs, and more. You get weekly office hours with me to answer your questions, our private student community, and your Land Your First Client Challenge to help you make back your investment ASAP. I'm so excited to welcome you guys in. I cannot wait to help you get this business off the ground and just to see where you take it. So go sign up. Can't wait to help you. I love you guys so much. If you have any questions, drop them in the replay. And I'll see you in VAMA.